Liverpool rocked by shock twists on and off the pitch. Don't miss a second. Subscribe now for instant Reds updates, exclusives, and breaking alerts.
News headline: Arne Slot offers new Liverpool injury update for Man City with worrying admission. Liverpool take on Manchester City at Anfield on Sunday afternoon, with the Reds set to be without a number of key defenders, including Jeremy Frimpong against Pep Guardiola's men. Arne Slot has admitted that Liverpool don't have many defenders left, with Jeremy Frimpong set to miss this weekend's clash against Manchester City. The Reds welcome Pep Guardiola's side to Anfield on Sunday afternoon. Having dropped to 6th in the Premier League, Slot's side need a win to get their push for a top 4 spot back on track. But Liverpool head into the game in the grips of a defensive crisis. Connor Bradley and Giovanni Leone are currently out with long-term issues, while Slot expects Frimpong to be ruled out, having picked up a thigh injury in the Champions League win against Qarabag. Speaking in his pre-match press conference, the Dutchman said, "Jeremy Frimpong not available for the weekend. Joe Gomez, we have hope he can train Saturday, may be available to help in the game, because we don't have many defenders left." Liverpool did manage to add to their defensive ranks in the January transfer window, with the Reds sealing a deal to sign Rennes star Jeremy Jacquet, albeit that move will not become official until the summer. Asked about that deal, Slot said, "Very pleasing, because he is a very big talent, and maybe even more than a talent, but we speak cause of his age. We weren't the only ones interested in him, so a big compliment to those who are signing the players. Another example of the model we use at this club: young, talented at the start of their careers, and can improve and help us for short and definitely long term. We have signed a lot of those recently, and the mid to long-term future is in a very good place." On his side's upcoming clash with City, Slot said, "I mainly remember the game we played there and outplayed for large parts in the first half, so this is another moment to see where we are in the development of this team. We know the importance of a result. It's the end phase of the season, so results matter more. And it's a very good team that beat Newcastle not even with their starters. So that tells you with the game we played against them what a force Man City still is and always will be." News headline: Liverpool ordered to pay Chelsea compensation after Tribunal settles bitter dispute. Liverpool have been ordered to pay Chelsea £2.8 million in compensation after a Professional Football Compensation Committee (PFCC) tribunal delivered its verdict. Liverpool have been ordered to pay Chelsea £2.8 million after a tribunal returned its verdict on the signing of Rion Gumoha. The 17-year-old forward joined Liverpool in September 2024 after leaving Chelsea's academy, meaning the Blues are entitled compensation. Chelsea were reportedly furious when Gumoha left for Liverpool because the club knew he was a special talent and had made several contract offers in order to try and keep him. His decision to snub their offers and head for Merseyside caused a worsening of relations between the two Premier League giants. It has been reported that Chelsea stopped allowing Liverpool's youth scouts to attend academy matches in response to Ngumoha's departure. He was 16 when he joined the Reds in contentious fashion, prompting a Professional Football Compensation Committee tribunal. The tribunal was needed to determine the amount Chelsea were owed for aiding Ngumoha's development. The Athletic reports that the verdict, which is non-negotiable, has now been communicated to both clubs. Liverpool will be forced to pay their rivals an initial fee of £2.8 million, which could rise significantly if other factors play out. It could reach £6.8 million if certain milestones, which relate to senior appearances, contracts, and international recognition, are met. Chelsea will also be owed 20% of the profit if Ngumoha is sold to another club. Ngumoha has already starred for England's youth sides and is now playing for the under-19s, for whom he has 8 appearances and 1 goal. Ngumoha has made 14 appearances for Arne Slot's first team at Liverpool since making his debut in January 2025, becoming the club's youngest ever player in the FA Cup. He scored a memorable winning goal after coming on as a substitute in a 3-2 victory against Newcastle in August and has been a regular in Premier League squads all season. I think he has the most minutes of all 17-year-olds in the Premier League, so that tells you how much playing time he gets, how special that already is for a 17-year-old, Slot said in December when asked about Ngumoha. That also tells you something about his quality, because it's not completely normal for a 17-year-old already to have as much playing time as he had. But it also tells you something about the availability in those areas. For the weekend, that position is not my biggest concern, I would say. So hopefully Cody is back. Not sure, but hopefully. Federico can play there. Florian can play there. So if he would be a player in a different position, he would probably have even more chance to come in. But it's the same for all the other players.
News headline: Ibrahima Konate issued ultimatum as Real Madrid suddenly U-turn on Liverpool star. News in details. Ibrahima Konate's contract at Liverpool expires at the end of the season, and he looks unlikely to stay at Anfield beyond the summer. Real Madrid are reportedly renewing their interest in Liverpool centre-back Ibrahima Konate. The 26-year-old's contract is set to expire at the end of the season, and with talks over a new deal at a standstill, he could be leaving on a free transfer this summer. In recent years, Real have made a habit of snapping up top players from rival teams on free transfers. However, they had to shell out £8.5 million to secure Trent Alexander-Arnold from Anfield in June, just a month before his contract was due to run out. Towards the end of last year, reports suggested that Real had cooled their interest in Konate. But ESPN now report that Los Blancos are once again eyeing the Liverpool defender. It is believed that the Frenchman's hefty financial demands previously put Madrid off. However, if he were to lower these, he could become a viable option for them once more. With Dayot Upamecano signing a fresh deal at Bayern Munich and Marc Guehi moving to Manchester City, Real's options for securing a top-tier new centre-back on a free transfer are dwindling. Therefore, it's suggested that Konate could be a potential recruit at the Santiago Bernabeu. Konate addressed his contract situation back in November. He stated, "I've seen a lot of things in the press recently, like Liverpool have made me a new offer. I don't know where that's coming from. My agents are continuing discussions with Liverpool. I hope my decision will be made very soon so I can announce it." Konate, who recently lost his father, Hamadi, was back in the Red squad last weekend. The French star was visibly moved after scoring Liverpool's 4th goal in their 4-1 victory against Newcastle United on Saturday. His teammates immediately comforted him as he was overcome with emotion after the goal. Post-match, an emotional Konate shared, "For sure I am very happy, and I don't have words to describe what I feel right now, because it was a very difficult moment for me and my family in the last 2 weeks, but this is part of life. But I thought I should come back and help the team. Anfield was unbelievable today, and that's what we need until the end of the season."
News headline: Arne Slot explains why Liverpool made Curtis Jones' transfer decision. News in details. Liverpool boss Arne Slot has made his thoughts clear on the transfer speculation around Reds midfield star Curtis Jones and explained the club's decision to keep him at Anfield. Arne Slot has explained how it would have been strange to sell Curtis Jones during the transfer window. The Liverpool ace was the subject of interest from the likes of Tottenham and Inter Milan. Reds boss Slot believes the club's injury situation ensured that there was not even a debate to be had over the midfielder's future. Jones, 24, has played 30 times for Liverpool this season, but faces stiff competition for a spot in midfield. The England international must battle with Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, and Dominic Szoboszlai for a place in Slot's starting lineup, but has still proven a useful player for the Dutchman. Slot believes Jones has been unlucky not to feature more, having started less than half of Liverpool's Premier League matches, but the ex-Feyenoord boss did not want to consider having fewer options. I think what you've seen, he has played a lot of minutes, and unlucky in the sense that midfield is the only line we haven't had injuries, but we kept because we have players, but we need players in these positions, Slot said in his press conference. And the moment you start to need midfielders in different positions, the line gets smaller and smaller. We kept him. His situation hasn't changed to us. He is one of 16 outfield players available we have, with 2 young players in Iñoni and Numoha, so it would be strange if we let anyone go. Slot was pushed on Jones's long-term future, but did not provide a clear answer. The Academy Products deal is set to expire in 2027, but the Reds' boss kept quiet over any contract discussions. Talks are not taking place in here, they're taking place in other places in this building, he said. We're all aware that he only has 1.5 years left on his current contract, so that's all I can say about it. Liverpool did add some depth to their squad during the transfer window in Jeremy Jackett, but will not be able to utilize his services from Rennes until the summer. The Reds are to part ways with up to £60 million after beating Chelsea and Manchester United to his signature. Very pleasing, of course, because he's a very big talent, and maybe even more than only a talent, Slot said of the summer move. We weren't the only ones interested in him. Young, very talented players, sometimes at the start of their careers, sometimes a few years into their careers, but always players that are young and that can improve us and help us for the short and long term. The future of this club is in a very good place.